Beautiful, so powerful. Why don't we give it up for that incredible local initiative up in Queensland. And we were just laughing about that great joke. We were doing that this morning at Macquarie. We were talking about how great Macquarie Park is, and it's been said to be the greatest part of Sydney. And then we all looked at each other and said, that was me that said that. So good. We love you, church. How incredible is this whole day in church? Have you been here this morning? Are you excited about tonight? I love it. This is a holy day. It's a powerful day. It's precious to God. And I have the absolute honor to share tonight why this day, this offering, this heart for the house, this heart for the mission offering matters to me personally. And I've really thought about it and I prayed about it because I tell you what, I've been in this church for 25 years. And it's our church. And this is powerful, and it's legacy, and it makes a difference. And we need every person to get it in their spirit. I want to say, first of all, my name is Angela. You might have heard that. I'm Angela. Hi. I want to do a little shout out to our beautiful family at Macquarie, Hillsong Macquarie. You are my heart and soul. We love you. And a huge shout out to our Hillsong College students and any of our graduates. We love you so much. My heart is a little divided between college and Macquarie, but you know what? I have room for both. Love you so much. And I was thinking through what an absolute privilege it is to share tonight, because this does make so much of a difference in the hearts and lives of each individual, and it leaves a legacy. I received the baton. Isn't that clever? Thanks, Jay, Jury, for making this. I received this baton, and I'm believing it will be a spiritual deposit in the hearts and the lives of every person, that you wouldn't just watch other people carry this baton, but you personally would take the baton and say, I'm going to carry it in my generation. 25 years ago, God was in a great mood, and he called my husband and I and our beautiful children, who were 2 and 3 at the time, to move to this incredible country of Australia. We landed in Sydney, and we realized we lived next to Hillsong Church. We had no idea Hillsong was out in the bush, which was, out here. We moved here and said, what's Hillsong doing out here? And we thought it was downtown Sydney, and we were like, oh, let's go. So we took our kids. We were living by faith. We were on a wing and a prayer. That's us. My husband had a lot of hair back then. I call it the evangelist hair. And that was in 1998. Yeah, if you know my husband, he'll love that. Hi, honey. And anyway, that's our beautiful kids. And we launched into the deep, and we moved to this country. We felt God called us here, and it was scary, and it was amazing. We were living by faith. And when we moved here, we came into the doors of Hillsong Church. And I'm not going to cry. Pastor Phil's not going to hand that to me. And we walked in, and it hit us supernaturally. We looked at this congregation of people who were wildly united around a cause. I'd never seen anything like it in my entire life. It wasn't about the flash and the flare. It was about a mission. It was about, we are all in this together. And there was a spirit of sacrifice that I had never seen. I'd grown up in church since I was really small, like 3 years old. My parents were wild Pentecostals. And we grew up in church. But I walked through the doors, and it was tangible. And I said, I don't know what is going on here, but these people are amazing. These people are kingdom people. These people understand the gospel. They understand what it means to actually build the church, and I am so hungry to be a part of it. As we got involved, we started realizing that it wasn't just a spirit of unity. There was a spirit of sacrifice. The sacrifice was so incredible. People would give of their time and their energy and their passions. They would have connect groups and people in their homes. They would be every single day, serving the house. They'd be out in the car park welcoming people. And I was amazed. And I thought, I want to do this. And about 6 or 8 months into being here, we had the opportunity to hear about the Heart for the House miracle offering. And you know what? We had already been recipients of so much sacrifice and grace and goodness of God that we were like, we want to be a part. We had no money. We were like living on a prayer. We were honestly living in such a position where we are like, God, if we don't have anything, how are we going to make it? But the beautiful thing was that we prayed. We asked God, what could we do? What could we actually be a part of? How could we do this? And we planned, and we brought an offering, and we felt like our little tiny bit was going to make some difference in the scheme of things. And then I remember on that Sunday, right before conference, where they put up how much the church had actually brought together sacrificially, whether it was a small amount, like we were able to bring at the beginning, or whether it was some of the most crazy numbers where people could be that sacrificial. And we looked up, and I would always say that little amount that we put, I'd look for it in the number. I'd be like, we contributed. Do you know that is a powerful thing when a church decides we're going to carry this mission together? We had been benefiting from the incredible generosity of so many people. And we said, we have to do this, and we have to let our kids be a part of this. We did not want this passionate love for God and His church to end with just Tom and I. We wanted our kids to see parents who sacrificed. We wanted them to see us serving in the house of God and connect groups during the week. We wanted them to see us living it, that exampled life. Now, we weren't perfect. Anybody who knows us knows we're just everyday people. But do you know what's amazing? 23 years on, we never ever thought back 25 years ago when we started being a part of this house and started sowing into this offering that one day, we would be a benefactor in a very large way. 10 years ago, my husband and I became campus pastors at Macquarie. I kind of did it kicking and screaming because that's just my nature. But we did it. We said yes to Jesus. And when we got there, I want to read this scripture because when the baton is passed, it made me think about a scripture that for me speaks to my heart. And it's found in Acts 13:36. And it's a bit of an interesting scripture, but I want you to go away and read about it because it's spoken to me over my life. It says, now, when David had served God's purpose in his own generation, he fell asleep. He was buried with his ancestors and his body decayed. Yes, I know we talked about a body decaying, but Paul is preaching his little heart out, and he's talking about how Paul was preaching about how Jesus didn't decay. But I love the fact, what I take away from that scripture is the importance of stewarding history, our time in history well. And I want to get to heaven, and I want God to say, you did it, Ange. You served your generation, and you did it with joy. So we know that Jesus is the hope of the whole world. And his church houses the message of Jesus Christ and the people of God. And so I want you to see our miracle up on the screen. And that's why I love Hobart. I love what God is doing in Hobart. On the screen, you're going to see photos of Hillsong Macquarie. And it is an absolute miracle in the heart of Macquarie Park. Yep, it's beautiful. She's beautiful. And then there's two more photos because you have to see the people. The people are what make the house of God so powerful and beautiful. And then the next one's a whole lot of volunteers just, living their best life. So I want to say thank you, church. Thank you for staying. Thank you for keeping your eyes on Jesus. Thank you for saying yes to legacy. Thank you for saying yes to the stretch and the miracle, because we are all a part of a miracle story. And so I am now handing this baton on to Jay Jury because he's a legend and he's going to bring an amazing encouragement. But I would love if we could look to the screen. We are going to look at the social impact initiatives that's actually right here locally and globally.